Now let's go on to number 47. This has a lot more agility with it. This and 81 both call for some really rapid fire articulation. I'm going to show you a couple of things that might help you in not only developing a nice, agile, rapid fire tongue, but also to give you some pointers on what really helps drive fast speed playing. First of all, let's look at this opening here at 47, these triplets. An easy way to negotiate these first two bars is to use B flat horn, where you can play all of these notes using 1 and 2 on the B flat horn. And then when we get up there to the upper F sharp, then we can go back to our normal fingering. But 1 and 2 works well. But for me, and notice that that first note that I played was a little iffy, because 1 and 2, even though it's a good solid fingering, sometimes it's not as open as the third finger by itself. So third finger and trigger. It's a little bit more open, and it creates a little less resistance, because even though it's the same length, in other words, the third valve loop is equal in length to the first and second valve loops combined, but in that the air is only going through one valve here instead of two, it decreases the resistance a little bit and makes the instrument behave a little bit more friendly to you. So forth. One thing that will help you to get a little bit cleaner approach to this, and when I was working on this on the musical examples, I spent some time slurring these. Helps open the airflow up. And then I use a nice agile tongue. Think of the syllable D. D, 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 D. And notice how I'm giving a little bit more deliberation on the 8th note. I need to do this because when we have short notes embedded between longer notes, to the listener, that short note will sound softer. So as a competent musician, what we must do is slightly, increase the intensity of that short note so it sounds as loud as those notes on either side. Don't make it sound louder, but just as loud. So forth. Makes it a lot easier. Now, on the second portion, after the double bar, we have some agility here. We have passages that start high and go low and then immediately go up again. It's like a roller coaster. What I recommend that you do is first go through this very slowly, but slur everything. Slur through it going slowly. Another thing, if you watch my hand, is that on the second and the fourth note of the second section, or second and fourth measure, I should say, when I go from the C sharp to the E, instead of using the open E, I'll go ahead and use the 1 and 2 E. I could use the open, but for me, it's one less thing to move, and I can play it like I'm playing on a natural horn. And it seems to me to come out just as easily and with the minimum amount of fingering fuss. Get that in your fingering pattern first. Establish an uninterrupted airflow. Then you can go a little faster. A little faster, maybe? Now, I'm going to put the tongue in with it. I'm going to use a very light, agile tongue. And the one way I can develop this is first play everything very soft. Then a little louder. But at the same time, as I get a little stronger, I want to keep that same lightness or agility in my tongue than I had when I was playing soft. A lot of times, horn players, as we get more aggressive with our sound, for some reason we want to get our articulation or our tongue release more sluggish. So it gets really muscular. And I don't know why it seems 99% of the horn players do that. And it's really unnecessary. So you can train yourself right now as you get a little stronger in your playing with more intensity, more volume. Keep the tongue feeling like it's still playing at a very soft, dynamic level. Let's try a little louder. So, when we're playing really quickly, if we use that fast, agile tongue, we can get a lot of mileage with that. Don't believe that every time we see staccato, it means dry, or it can mean dry or separated. I never like to think of the staccato as being a short note. But sometimes we could think of the staccato as a mark of lightness. This is the way I think of this. Or it can mean an articulation of clarity. Also, I threw in that last time another little wrinkle. I didn't know if you saw it on from your vantage point, but excuse me, on the third and the fifth measure, when we have the E major triad, a G sharp to E to B and so forth, I will stay on the B flat horn but play it all second. As opposed to going. And the same thing at the beginning of the third line. Once we get to the B, stay on the B flat horn with the trigger. Yeah. As opposed to. It's one little less thing to worry about, and the absence of fingering will make things a little bit easier for you. And then, as we conclude, we have the same issues as the beginning. Be careful, it is a little bit different, whereas when we start at the beginning, we have the sonority of D major. Now we have the sonority of A major. So this is another way you can use that 1 and 2 on the E if you wish. Do it both ways. The first time I did it the traditional way, the second time at the end, the very end, I did it using the 1 and 2. Whichever way seems to work. So, lightness of dexterity and tongue, working up the speed in this really fast stuff with just slurring. Takes a little while to get that ending nice and clean. It's really stuffy, so we can't really push it. So just lay back on it and really get a nice, quiet sound. One thing you might want to throw into the mix is the use of a triple tongue on these triplets. 2 T's followed by a K. Da-da-ga-ta or da-di-ga-da, da-di-ga-dee, da-da, da-da-ga-dee, da-da. Notice how I let it roll off my tongue, very light and agile, and I increased the air. With the third finger, you can do this also near the end when you have the 3 articulated notes in the A major triplet. Takes a little bit more to work out. I'm still not on top of things myself, but you understand what I'm getting at. So, good luck with number 47. Hopefully these little tips are going to get you further on down the road. See you on the next one.